the Merethic Era. The Merethic Era was figured by early Nord scholars as a series of years numbered in reverse order backwards from their beginning of time, the founding of the Cameron dynasty recorded as year 0 of the First Era. The prehistoric events of the Merethic Era are listed here with their traditional Nordic Merethic dates. The earliest Merethic date cited by King Harold's scholars was ME 2500, the Nordic reckoning of the first year of time. As such, the Merethic Era extends from ME 2500 in the distant past to ME 1, the year before the founding of the Cameron dynasty and the establishment of the White Gold Tower as an independent city-state. According to King Harold's bards, ME 2500 was the date of the construction of the Adamantine Tower on the Belfair Islands in High Rock, the oldest known structure on Tamriel. This corresponds roughly to the early historical dates given in various unpublished Elvish chronicles. During the early Merethic Era, the Aboriginal beast peoples of Tamriel, the ancestors of the Khajiit, Argonian, Orcish, and other beast folk, lived in pre-literate communities throughout Tamriel. In the middle of the Merethic Era, the Altmer, mortals of elven origin, refugees left the doomed and now lost continent of Aldmeris, also known as Old El Nefay, and settled in southwestern Tamriel. The first colonies were distributed at wide intervals on islands along the entire coast of Tamriel. Later, inland settlements were founded primarily in the fertile lowlands in southwest and central Tamriel. Wherever the beast folk encountered the elves, the sophisticated, literate, technologically advanced Altmer culture displaced the primitive beast folk into the jungles, marshes, mountains, and wetlands. The Adamantine Tower was rediscovered and captured by the Dainai, a prominent and powerful Altmer clan. The Crystal Tower was built on Somerset Isle, and later the White Gold Tower in Cyrodiil. During the Middle Merethic Era, Altmer explorers mapped the coasts of Vardenfell, building the first era High Elven wizard towers at Aldredana, Bolfell, Tel Arun, and Tel Morah in Morrowind. It is also during this period that Aelid, wild elven settlements flourished in the jungles surrounding the White Gold Tower, present-day Cyrodiil. Wild elves, also known as Heartland High Elves, preserved the Dawn Era's magics and language of the El Nefay, ostensibly a tribute land to the High Kings of Alanor. The Heartland's long lines of communication from the Somerset Isles sovereignty effectively isolated Cyrodiil from the High Kings at Crystal Tower. The later Middle Merethic Era is a period of the High Velothi culture. The Shema, ancestors of modern Dunmere or Dark Elves, were dynamic, ambitious, long-lived elven clans devoted to fundamentalist ancestor worship. The Shema clan followed the prophet Veloth out of the ancestral elven homelands in the southwest to settle in the lands now known as Morrowind. Despising the secular culture and profane practices of the Dwemer, the Shema also coveted the lands and resources of the Dwemer, and for centuries provoked them into minor raids and territorial disputes. The Dwemer, dwarves, free-thinking, reclusive elven clans devoted to the secrets of science, engineering, and alchemy, established underground cities and communities in the mountains, later the Velothi Mountains, separating modern Skyrim and Morrowind. The late Merethic Era marks the precipitous decline of the Velothi culture. Some Velothi settled in villages near declining or abandoned ancient Velothi towers. During this period, Velothi high culture disappeared on Vardenfell Island. The earliest Dwemer freehold colonies date from this period. Degenerated Velothi devolved into tribal culture, which in time evolved into the modern Great Houses of Morrowind, or persisted as the barbarian Ashlander tribes. The only surviving trace of this tribal culture are scattered Velothi towers and Ashlander nomads on Vardenfell Island. The original, first-era High Elven wizard towers along the coast of Tamriel were also abandoned about this time. It was in the late Merethic Era that the pre-literate humans, the so-called Nordic peoples from the continent of Altmer, also known as Altmora or the Elder Wood in Almiris, migrated and settled in northern Tamriel. The Norn cultural hero Ysgramor, leader of a great colonizing fleet to Tamriel, is credited with developing a runic transcription of Nord speech based on Elvish principles, and so Ysgramor is considered the first human historian. Ysgramor's fleet landed at Zarek Head, the extreme northern tip of Skyrim's Broken Cape. The Nords built there the legendary city of Sarathal. The elves drove the men away during the Night of Tears, but Ysgramor soon returned with his 500 companions. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please show some love to Ada, Hain, Molinai, Jolly Joestar, Dark Griever, and all my wonderful patrons, without whom I would be unable to dedicate the time, energy and resources I do to my channels. I can never thank them enough. Now I hope you will join me again for more lore narrations in the future, but until then, as always, thanks for watching.